It's Labor Day, Monday, September 6th, the year's 2021. I'm a Centurion. I arrived century 19, decade 7, plus 8 years. So my name's Nicole Caruso. This is a painting that my grandfather, Antonin Caruso, he is a Gemini brother. One Gemini brother, who was a Libra by astrology standard, came to New York. One Gemini brother, Bepi, went and lived in South America, in Argentina. I have the grandfather, Libra, who was in North America, from Italy. So now Antonin drew this. They grew up in the Alps of Italy. He was an Alpini man. Here is the snow piled up, and there is what he saw. And they had large poles. And if you look on the date, it says it's either March or I think it's April, because it's 4 dash, and it looks like there's a 2-digit. And then it has the year begins with 4, and I can't see. The decade begins with 4, and I can't see the name of the year. But if you see how much snow, I don't believe in Italy in this century 20, decade 2 plus 1 year that I'm standing in New York, in North America. I don't have family members in Italy that I can speak to because I don't speak Italian fluently. In my sheetrock New York prison, I went to class in a classroom setting, but it was not fluent and with nobody to practice with. So I don't have communication methods. However, I was just speaking to Linda. She's like, I think that they mentioned when we were there in the 90s that they no longer have March and Aprils with snow piled all the way so high anymore. That would be indicative of the climate change that we're currently experiencing at a rapid pace. I did say to Linda, I said, she said she remembers Rigoletti's, which was a lampshade store in Elmont, and where the Home Depot currently is a parking lot over there, that they would build big mounds of snow and they'd play all day, the kids in her neighborhood growing up. But for me, there was one big snowstorm in the 80s, and that was it my entire life. And now, I was telling Lynn and Lou about Willard Scott, who passed away. I said, you know, this morning on the television, Lynn, I was like, I noticed they told the career of Willard Scott, like when he first began as a meteorologist on the Today Show, and like his handsome and quirky self. I was like, and back then, Lynn, did you know there was a effort? They would go to an Associated Press and they would print the map. They knew the weather way ahead of time. They would agree on it, kind of like the Weather's Almanac, Farmer's Weather's Almanac. They would agree on it, like for the Union of the America, the United States of America. They'd have it associate printed. They'd have it shipped like it was money to the studio, and then it would be hung, and the weatherman would come out and he would present it on camera. I was like, I'm not quite sure when or how it transformed from a central intelligent agent run Associated Printing Press that sent out one level of weather pattern to be expected for congruency to all of the 50 states. I don't know when that changed from that level of certainty to this new age digital platform where there's competing meteorologists, there's competing factors, there's competing computer simulations. One weather channel reports it this way, one weather report it this way, and then now nobody knows anything. And she's like, I don't really see what your point is, Nicole. And I was like, it's a big problem, Lynn. I was like, we used to have like a national security league, like one. They used to agree on what the safe weather pattern was. They used to secretly and carefully send it out to all of the states, and then it would be presented so the people would know what to expect in the weather for health reasons. Now, I said, you gotta remember, Lynn, I was like, my mother had in one of her eyes, her cornea she had LASIK surgery once, but then she was just standing and the pressure changed in the room and her retina ripped off and she had special surgery. I mean, it was a really long recovery. I'm like, Lynn, I was like, it's the barometric pressure around your body. I was like, you call it blood pressure. Yeah, well, blood pressure's in your body, but there's a barometric pressure outside your body. I was like, here's this, ready? In medical school, they teach you your ribs are called intercostals. There's an intercostal pressure system that works between your body's ribs and the stuff around you. I was like, the pressure of your lungs is called tidal volume. It matters what the tides and the tidal pressure out to sea is doing. And she's like, all right, well, I get that. I was like, all right. So if I have competing theoretical computer models on different digital platforms, who wins? It's like a casino and a popularity contest mixed in with some drug cartels or some gang kids. I was like, that's a problem. That's a known problem, and it's just getting worse. And, of course, Lou's in the background. And I'm like, listen to me, shut the fuck up, Lou. Because Lou's got, like, a pineal gland. Deep inside of his head is a little peanut size or walnut size pineal gland. And for some reason, it keeps tuning into the wrong fucking Tokyo on a computer system. And when I'm trying to talk to Lynn, like the one intelligent being in the room other than myself, he starts to like Tourette's, and he's just like, I ask Alexa. I mean, like, he can't even help himself. He's like a moving puppet. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Lou. So now, so I'm like, so Lynn, I was like, so at what point did they move from a central intelligence model? Because I was like, did they warn you? Like, at what vote or meeting was that decided and done? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, well, me neither. This is a concerning problem. And she's like, why? I was like, well, I don't know. You were just standing in a room and all of a sudden, pop. Yeah, because you have competing barometric systems, and now all of a sudden your eye just gets ripped apart because someone else in a bigger gang got the weather pattern for the day. I mean, like, this is not a secure or safe way to run a country, a state, a civilization, biological unit. Now, I'm trying to connect to that pin and the button that I was given because I didn't recognize whoever handed it to me on the Episcopalian visit day to St. John's Church in 1988. I want to say maybe it was Eisenhower related. Could have been a different president. But the thing is that I think that there's something about formed, seated presidents, and then the possibility of future presidents, and then there being a problem with them trying to pull things for all different sorts with this new lobby at some Hotel California that opened up, like, unexpectedly. But there's other stuff going on in alien DNA and equipment, with the weather pattern being off being the most serious. So I'm trying to think about this and how to explain this and document this. Alexander the Great, he arrived out of century 19 completely. He's a century 20 centurion, and he was born in year 5. And he is a special genetic blend between me and I walked out of his chest, who does not reside anywhere in my local area that I can see on a day-to-day basis that I'm aware of. I have to think about this. Okay, so I don't know when they moved from a central intelligence agency. I mean, they advertise it, they broadcast that this thing exists as a CIA, and they have agents. I just don't know where. I don't know they don't walk around with logo embossed shirts as to who they are. They don't introduce themselves as such. And currently the National League in New York is not working off of any center intelligence whatsoever. It seems to be a bunch of competing, unknown factors and factory workers and college kids, and I don't know what college they went to. I don't. I don't know what college they embedded themselves into, what foundations they have. The entire system has been compromised. And I don't know for what and with whom. But it's really scary. And the humans are breaking in large quantity. I said, Linda and Lou, I said, you all agreed at some point, because, you guys didn't have inoculations. I mean, maybe you had, one. But then at some point you agreed to sell my generation out and made it sound normal that there were vaccines. But it turns out that vaccine that you stuck me with without my permission it's like a grappling hook, an engineering feat of a future cast of an anchor, and then it's a game of tug-of-war as to whose kids that received those vaccinations are going to be healthy and safe in the future. Literally, you agreed by shooting me with that without control of the governing system over that particular set of vaccines. You essentially just threw caution to the wind, and now it's this gigantic battle that nobody speaks of. But this plague that we're experiencing and that they talk about in the Bible, it's what is because of what's happened. I can't change that they've already shot me up with bioengineered products when I was the size of a caterpillar, before I could even walk or talk. I can't change that. So now I'm in direct harm's way to leadership, government, and there being some form of control over the main system in the repair unit. I can't get out of a sheetrock prison because I don't even know who's in charge of anything. I don't know how to find a former president or a former Navy SEAL or a former Army sealed envelope. I have no idea where to even look. So now, who protects me exactly? And Lynn's like, well, I was like, and just so you know, I don't know, are you selling my future off so you could have a sustainable social life? Because, she's a recluse. She didn't even go out and enjoy social anything. She does not have timeshares. She worked her ass off her whole entire life for no reason. At some Bank of America, working customer service, being nice to people. What for? Well, there's trust fund babies somewhere sitting sucking someone else's dick for fun just so they're not found out. Useless as all fucking hell. But they have groups, so now they're fucking dangerous to the individuals that did the right thing the entire time. I'm like, so yeah, so anyway, so those, and then I watched on 60 Minutes, There's some doctor who's like, oh, we have this great, but he's not my genetic. I'm like, why is he presenting that there's a one-size cure-all for all the bioengineered stuff? I mean, they purposely sold out my generation's future with only so many vacancy seats with the vaccines that they gave everyone in New York in order to fuck over the white kid, because that's what I am, and that's what they've done. I don't speak on everybody's behalf, but I certainly look around, and whatever white kids I see, they're not doing so well. In fact, they're really sick in, like, health. They die early. They're not able to perform. I mean, like, they're weak. So I don't understand what area of dumb fucking useless parental unit before I got here allowed this to go into effect and then didn't even bring Lou in on it to even give me a boost to even have a shot at. Well, you shot your kid up with vaccines. Well, then doesn't that mean I have a fucking vacancy somewhere? I mean, besides the fact that I was born special anyway, I had a guaranteed spot out because of the way that the Gemini system works. You're not allowed to deny me as a backup precaution, I suppose, with wave function and higher order process. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cataruzza. I'm still stuck in a sheetrock prison. It's Labor Day, which is some kind of holiday. It's September 6th, 2021. Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I'm on Earth, in a solar system, in a Milky Way, in a universe, and it's spirally broken at galactic. I am trying to find my Gemini union, so this way I have union, and then I have my crossover. Currently, my union is broken. And for Rapoggle shape, it is so hard to walk today in this barometric pressure system. This is what the units look like on the pressure system. And this is the shape that was known. And by the century I got here, there were already stretches, like a balloon that's been left in that's not evenly sutured. I mean, I've got evidence of it on a low technology spec map, not star astrological, not by satellite. They sell this to the general public as an education tool, not that I've ever been instructed how to use it.